Store up for yourself treasures in heaven. In today's gospel, we read Jesus tell us to store up for yourselves treasures in heaven. And where your treasure is, there your heart will be. So instantly, as we reflect on this gospel, what comes to my mind are a lot of questions, right? Where is my heart at? Right? Where are my treasures? What do I focus on? Where do I put my effort and my attention? What am I living for? Right? So as we reflect on this gospel, I want us to ask those questions, right? Where do we put our focus? What are we living for? And who are we living for? Because as Jesus tells us, right, don't store up treasures here on earth because moths eat that, destroy that, right? Thieves come and steal that. So are we living for fame? Are we living for money, for popularity, right? Are we living for all these things that the world tells us to go after? Or do we recognize that we're made for more? The Catechism says that heaven is supreme, definitive happiness. Sign me up for that. That sounds awesome. But we don't just slip, trip, stumble, and fall into heaven, right? What we do now matters. So Jesus reminds us to store up treasures not for here, but for heaven. And St. Therese of Lisieux has this beautiful quote. I actually see it every day in our house. Our daughter's named after Therese of Lisieux, so we love St. Therese in our household. So she has this famous quote, "The world is thy ship and not thy home. The world is thy ship and not thy home." Right? So we are invited this day to keep our eyes fixed on Christ and to store up for ourselves treasures in heaven, to live out the truth of the gospel and to keep our eyes on our final destination, which is heaven, and to live that reality now, that we know that this is not the end. As great as this world is, and there's goodness and truth and beauty all around us, and let us celebrate those things. But let us remember that we are made for more. And heaven is our eternal destination. So my brothers and sisters, this day, let us live for heaven and let us live out this gospel, right? Let us store up treasures for ourselves in heaven, and where our treasure is, there our heart might be. So my brothers and sisters, I'm praying for you this day that our hearts may draw near to the heart of Christ who longs for us. Remember that you are loved. I'm praying for you, and God bless.